This episode is proudly supported by Anchor Food Professionals, makers of mainland cheese. Here's Andy Sy from the Notting Hill Hotel.
We've been using them for a few years now, using their tasty and mozzarella cheese. We go through about 135 kilos a week at the moment. So a huge number. So we use it for our garlic bread, our pizzas, our parmas, our bechamel, our cheese sauce for our croquettes and arancini, throughout our lasagnas, anywhere we can really. It's such a good product. You know, having the freshest chips to your fresh chicken to a freshly crumbed schnitzel and topping up with a really high quality cheese is amazing.
For more information, go to anchorfoodprofessionals.com.
If I want more people to eat Mexican food and cook Mexican food, the recipes needed to be doable because otherwise no one was going to use it.
Hey everybody, it's Dani Valent here with you on location in Adelaide. How exciting to take the podcast on the road. Arrived in Adelaide today and came straight to La Popular Taqueria, and I am sitting down with Daniella Guevara Muñoz. I've just had a delicious meal, Dani, and also noting that you are also a Dani, and I'm so happy to be sitting down with you. Welcome to Dirty Linen in your own restaurant.
Yeah. Thank you for coming, and thank you for having me. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's really exciting to be sitting down at a table with microphones in the thrill of a Saturday night service. Things are slightly quietening down a little bit, but the buzz in here is fantastic. It's a very busy open kitchen. The tortilla machine is going. The stone mill is just out the back. It smells like what does it smell like? Chilies and it smells like Mexico, epazote and all the good things. Tell us a little bit about La Popular, Daniella.
La Popular has been open for 8 years, and it's our little Mexico in Port Adelaide, where we showcase Mexican food, of course, and we do everything from scratch, and we wanted to show how good Mexican food is in Adelaide. So that's about it.
So what inspired you to open the restaurant?
Before I opened the restaurant, I had dinners at home, underground dining. Because I love cooking, of course, and I did those dinners for maybe 5 years before we opened the restaurant, and I didn't know if I really wanted a restaurant. So I think that gave me the idea of pushing me to really open a restaurant. And then thanks to an NGO that gave us this space with rent-free, is that we decided okay, let's do it. And we went and did it, and we are not experienced having a restaurant, so it was the first time, and we are still here, so I guess it's working.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, cooking dinners at home is pretty different to running a restaurant. What are some of the things that you've learnt about hospitality over the years?
Well, besides of doing the dinners and learning how to cook for 20 people, I was also working in hospitality. I was washing dishes in several restaurants. And there's where I learned more about the hustle of having a restaurant. And I was just looking, watching, and learning a lot, and that's what gave me the idea of also, I can do this, and I can have a restaurant and do it. And the dinners were amazing too. So there was some days that really maybe that dish didn't work, and we had to serve it, or sometimes I didn't serve it, and I was I'm so sorry, they didn't know the menu, so that was easy. So then it was okay, I won't serve that one because and that was easy back then, but now I cannot do that. So those are little things that little like different, you know?
Yeah, well, I guess you've got a lot of experience over the years, and I'm sure all the dishes turn out right. The tortillas are such an important part of a Mexican restaurant, and it's still pretty unusual in Australia that a Mexican restaurant makes their own tortillas. Tell us about why did you want to do that, and tell us about the process.
I think it is related with my passion of how to showcase Mexican food. And I wanted to be as original, as traditional as possible. And I took the plunge on that too, because I was like, if I want to show how great Mexican food is, I need to learn how to make tortillas from scratch. And not just that, like to really do it in my restaurant, which has been challenging, but I'm getting there. And and I think people can see the difference, you know, like if you buy a tortillas from the supermarket and then you come here and it's like, this is completely different. So I decided that I was going to do everything from scratch, and that's one of the most important things that I needed to do.
For people who don't know about nixtamalization and the process of making a corn tortilla, just give us the 101 rundown on what the process is.
It sounds easy, but it's not easy. But it's dry corn. You cook it with water and lime, like calcium hydroxide, I think is the name. It's like a powder. So it creates a chemical reaction with the water and the corn. So improves the corn, so then humans can digest it better, and also gives it more other proteins that we really need, like niacin. And also it helps with the consistency of the corn, and it becomes a little bit gelatinous. And then is when you have you cook the corn and then you leave it overnight, soaking in that liquid, and then the next day you have to put it in a stone mill to grind it. And then is when it comes the dough that we use for several things, not just tortillas, but lots of things. So that's the process. But it sounds very easy, but it's not.
Well, it doesn't even sound easy, but I mean, your tortillas, they had structure, but they were pliable, like warm, they smelled fresh and toasty, like really delicious. And to, get messy with the tortillas and the tacos was such a great experience.
I think, I remember perfectly well when I was about to open the restaurant, and there was this tortilla guy that makes tortillas in Melbourne, and I bought some tortillas from him at the beginning, and corn chips, and then he was like, and I told him I want eventually to make my tortillas, from scratch, and he was like, yeah, everyone says the same. So, but if you do that, then after a few months you will come back to buy my products. And I haven't been back since then.
Yeah, so. I love that. Dani, take us all the way back to your childhood. Like, what place did food have in your life?
Well, I think for lots of Mexicans, not just me, food is very important. So it's part of the culture. It's really when you sit down to enjoy food, you sit down to enjoy food, and you have special dishes in certain days, and so there's a lot of tradition. So my childhood was very rich in that sense. My mom is a very good cook, and we also used to go out to have dinner or meals in restaurants, different types of restaurants too. So not just Mexican. Mexican was everywhere, of course, and we, till now, my dad on the weekends go and buy breakfast for us and then brings it home, and it's so rich, and I really miss that buzzing, of food vendors on the streets, and that you can see them everywhere. You buy the juice, freshly squeezed orange juice in one, and then you buy the gorditas on the other one, or the tamales, and then you have, for dinner, you have pozole, and then you go and buy it. So it's so rich that I think that also, of course, motivated me to do what I do now.
Yeah. So was cooking your first career?
I'm a marine biologist, so
Right.
I love the sea. I love the sea and the coral reefs, and I end up studying biology at the university in Mexico City, and then end up in the Caribbean, Mexican Caribbean, doing my research in coral reef fishes. So yes, I used to do that, and then eventually I end up being the director of Marine Park in that area
Wow.
for several years, and yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, and then you know what? One of my dreams was to come and live in Townsville because the Great Barrier Reef is there, and that was one of my dreams. Like I have to go there, and I have to get there somehow. And you know, years passed by, and I met Cor, and then we got together, and eventually he got an offer like to work in Townsville in Australia, and I was like, wow, I'm getting there. But then is when I decided that marine biology wasn't my thing, and it was more food. So yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So Hor is your husband, and we were chatting to him earlier. He works at the university, but also makes a mean margarita. So yeah, it's a real family business. When you came to Australia, Dani, and you saw the Mexican food scene here, what did you think? Like, what did you want to add to it?
Oh, well, I thought it was terrible. Because the only things that you could see, it was the franchise Mexican stereotype one. And in the supermarket, the aisle of Mexican food, it was full of these little boxes, yellow boxes that I haven't tried them ever, but I know that they are not Mexican. So that was another thing that also helped me to decide to change careers, because I saw that representation of what Mexican food is, and it's not the truth. So I took it like my mission to to try to do something. And yeah, so because Mexican food is not nachos and chili con carne, like there's lots of things that you can find as Mexican food, like it's so rich and full of traditions and ingredients and fresh, and so it was interesting.
What are some dishes that you make today that you're really proud of, that really express your project of expanding Australians' idea of what Mexican food can be?
I think cochinita pibil is the pork that I have. It's actually from the region that where I was living in Yucatan. So it was the first thing that I cooked besides tortillas. And that's the dish that I was like, it took me a while to make it right. So it's a dish that I still have in the restaurant, and we haven't moved it at all, because I think everyone has to experience it. And it's pork marinated in annatto seeds and orange juice and wrapped in banana leaves, and then we put it in the oven overnight, and then it's juicy and tender next day, which in the region Yucatan is eaten in the morning. So it's for breakfast, because it's very rich and fatty, and so you have the whole day to digest it. So, but here we have it for lunch, dinner, and breakfast too.
No wrong time to have it. It was super delicious and so juicy. Yeah, really fantastic. What about accessibility of ingredients? Because there are so many special Mexican chilies and herbs. How difficult is it for you to find the ingredients that you need?
Well, when I arrived to Australia 15 years ago, it was a little bit more challenging to find them. But even though back then I managed to cook a few things, because you can cook Mexican food with the things that you can find in the supermarket, like basic Mexican food. So it was easy. It wasn't that difficult because we have tomatoes, onion, garlic, coriander, all those things, jalapenos, you know. So with those ones, you can do lots of things, lots of Mexican dishes. There was a lady in Townsville in a house, like her own house, where she used to sell things that she brought from, I think, from Sydney or something like that. You know, like I don't know where did she get the things from, but we used to go to her house, to her living room, and you know, she was watching telenovelas, you know, the TV, and she was selling flour and chilies, but she wasn't open all the time, so you needed to really plan ahead.
Right.
And it was very interesting. So I managed to cook several things.
Okay.
Thanks to her.
And do you grow anything yourself so that you can use in the restaurant?
Yeah. So we grow epazote, which is a herb that it's very traditional in Mexican cooking, especially for beans and mushrooms. But we also grow tomatillos.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, and we've been very successful growing tomatillos. So we got like maybe 150 kilos this year. So we need to buy another chest freezer to put them there because it was too much. So we have plenty to do salsas and things in the restaurant. So yeah, so those are the main things that we grow at the moment. So we are planning to grow chilies, for example, but yeah. But
Right.
those ones are a little bit harder.
Yeah, because epazote, I don't think I've ever seen in an Australian grocer. Easy to grow. Yeah. I would love to grow it. I remember when I was in Mexico City and I was doing like a cooking experience with a chef and he was using epazote and I was like, "What? I don't think I can get that. What do I do if I can't get epazote?" And he was like, "If you can't get epazote, you cry."
I used to cry a lot for epazote, but not anymore. So yeah, because it's basic. You know, like
it's
like,
such a distinctive flavor.
Yeah.
So, Dani, you've recently put out your beautiful book, Provecho. Is it Provecho or Provecho? Provecho. Okay, tell me about this word, first of all, Provecho.
Well, provecho is a very interesting word, and that it means enjoy your meal. But it goes beyond that. So when you go to Mexico and some restaurants in little towns or even in Mexico City, when you enter to the door, you know when you have to say it, but like you said, provecho, or someone turns and looks at you and says like, provecho. And then it's like a welcoming not from the people from the restaurant or the fonda, it's from the customers that are there. So you kind of like say hello to everyone with provecho. And it's very interesting because I think it's a way of creating community. Like they will suddenly, if you are sitting next to another person that is there, and they will say, provecho, you should try this, or don't try this, you know, like, and if you are a tourist, they will tell you, you have to go to this place and that place, and you know what, then I can take you, and I'm going to have a party, and maybe you will end up in someone else's house in Mexico. So I think it's beautiful. So that's why I decided to name it like that.
What a perfect title for your book. So the subtitle is Real Mexican Food at Home. So tell us about the book. What are you trying to do with it?
Well, I want more people to cook real Mexican food. So that's why I wrote the book. But the recipes in the book are also simple recipes that you can do with ingredients that you can find here. Because I didn't want to put recipes that you couldn't cook, because if the main goal is for people to try real Mexican food at home, I needed to find these recipes that are very good, very traditional, but people will be able to make them. So yeah,
Amazing. How did you feel when you first saw this beautiful book that you've made?
I don't know. It was weird. It was very, like, we work on the book for 2 years, you know? So when I saw it, it was so exciting to take it out of the envelope and I just saw the colors and the cover and I was like just super happy because I never thought that I was going to look that pretty. Really, like, yeah.
It's a stunning book, and having looked through it, I haven't cooked anything out of it yet, but it is very doable. Like, you feel like I could do that. I could have a Mexican party at home.
Exactly, and it's like if I want more people to eat Mexican food and cook Mexican food, the recipes needed to be doable because otherwise no one was going to use it. It's beautiful and you can have it on your coffee table, you know, but I really want to see the book like dirty and used and, you know, like with stains and everything.
Yeah. That's the best sort of cookbook.
Yeah,
Nothing
exactly.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if someone picks up the book for the first time, Dani, and they're wondering what to make, like, where should they look? What do you think they should start with?
With a sauce, with a salsa, and then with that salsa you can make lots of things. You can make chilaquiles, you can cook meats in it, slow cook, and make tacos, and so any salsa. I guess more tomatoes because tomatillos will be a little bit more hard to get them because you need to go to a special store. But I will say a salsa or a mole.
Yeah.
I put a recipe of a mole there, but with the mole that you can buy, because most people, they don't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
You know, they see
True.
it and it's like, how do I do this? Just put water and that's it. And it's not like that. It's a little bit more like you need to cook tomatoes. Anyway, so I think mole will be very interesting.
Yeah, great. I love the idea of starting with a recipe that becomes many other things.
Yeah.
That's very
and that's
clever.
the thing with Mexican food too. Like if you have a sauce, you can start doing different things, you know, and use it for several dishes. Yeah.
Beautiful. So what do you love about what you do?
I like to see people eating my food. And I really like to see their eyes when they bite a taco or whatever they are eating, and to see like people nodding, you know, like, this is good, you know, like, and especially because I think more people like lots of people have the wrong idea, or Mexican food is like different idea of what Mexican food is, and then when they try that, it's like, oh, this is good, you know, and that's it. It's like converted.
I love it. The priest of Mexican food, converting people all over Adelaide.
Yeah. Lots of people come to the door and it's like, I really don't like Mexican food.
Really?
And these guys and me is like, well, yeah. But some people told me that this place is very good. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Just come sit down and we will take care of you. And then it's like, most of the time we convert them. Yeah.
I'm not at all surprised. Well, Daniella, thank you so much for welcoming us into your world today. It's a really special, vibing little restaurant. The book is absolutely beautiful. So everybody look out for Provecho by Daniella Guevara Muñoz. And thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
Thank you for coming and inviting me. This has been very good.
For me too. This is Dirty Linen, and I'm Dani Valent. We air the issues that the hospitality industry finds hard to talk about, hearing from different people with unique perspectives. We want to hear from you as well. If you have something that needs to be said about a topic, get in touch so we can include your perspective. Contact us at dirtylinen@deepintheweeds.com.au or hit us up on Insta at Dirty Linen Podcast. We can't wait to hear from you.
This